Hello beautiful being, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie Lane and I am the creatrix of 𝑦𝒄𝒕𝒊𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒏. I empower women to transform their relationship with their money, their man and their sex life. And in this video I'm actually going to do a little story time. So I am currently traveling in Thailand and I am on Koh Phangan Island in a little village called 𝑧𝒐𝒑𝒊𝒂𝒏. And it is the most amazing place I've ever been in my life so far. I absolutely love it here. This place is a spiritual hub. It is full of healing centers, yoga schools, tantra, energy healing, shamanic healing. It's just got everything, like ecstatic dance, it's got sober raves, it's got there's loads of vegan restaurants everywhere. It is a really highly conscious community and I am just feeling so unbelievably blessed to be here right now. This is a dream come true for me and it's something that I have been manifesting and creating in my life with my partner Rory, and we're just on this journey together. It's awesome. So yeah, absolutely loving it here. And since being here, because of the nature of this place, it's the type of people here, the energies here are extremely potent. So just being here is very, very activating. You cannot ignore your own shadows. Like, it's very self-reflective. Just being here, it's like mirrors everywhere. Not literally, but it feels like there's mirrors everywhere. It shifts you into your power. It's very, very healing, very, very powerful place. And I have had some very strange experiences since being, and I just wanted to share with you this experience I had with Sophia Consciousness. So this may not be something that you've heard of. It was something that I'd heard a little bit about in the past, but never really thought much of it. I had heard that it's something to do with Jesus consciousness. And I'm not really into religious stuff. I'm a very, very deeply spiritual person, but I've never really gotten into the Bible or religion or anything like that. I tend to just go on my own spiritual journey, and I'm more into kind of spirituality and science and like quantum physics and the law of attraction and things like that. So if that kind of thing doesn't float your boat, or if you fear this kind of thing that I'm speaking about, or if it doesn't feel good to you, then I really would recommend that you click off this video, because I'm going to be speaking about some spiritual woo-woo crazy stuff. So okay, let me share my little story with you. So the other week, Rory and we were going to lunch. There's a cafe here called Karma Cafe. It's a vegan restaurant. And all morning I kept hearing the name Sophia, and when we were in the restaurant I was just like feeling really obsessed with this name, and I was like, oh my god, this name is beautiful. Like, it was the most beautiful sounding name that I've ever heard. Like, I was just like, Sophia, Sophia, Sophia. I was just like, oh, that name. And I said to Rory at lunchtime, if I changed my name to Sophia, would you call me it? And he was like, well, if you really wanted me to. And it was a really random thing to say, I know, it was just strange, but it was like, Sophia, Sophia, Sophia. All I could hear and feel was Sophia, Sophia. And it was like quite intense. At this point, we hadn't got any plans for the evening. We hadn't decided what we're doing yet. We'd seen that there was this shamanic sound healing at this place called the Orion Healing Center, which we were staying right next to the Orion Healing Center, and they have what's called a shala, which is like a room where they do different workshops, different classes and sessions. So we saw that there was a shamanic sound healing session taking place, and it said it was by donations. We were like, oh, let's go along. Like, Rory had he been to one before? I don't know, but yeah, so we decided later on that evening we decided we would go. So later that evening we went along to this sound healing, and we turned up with just a little bit of money to donate. And we got there and the woman said, oh no, it's like 400 baht each because we've got guest shamans in tonight doing this healing session. And we were like, oh, okay, we thought it was by donations. And so we were like, oh, shall we do it? Shall we not do it? And so we rode back to our room, and something in me was just like, we need to do this, we need to do this. Went back to the room, got some more money, came back again just as the doors were about to close, and paid the money and walked in, and there was just 2 mats, like free, just waiting for us. So, and all the other mats were taken, so we went and sat down on these mats. And yeah, so there was 3 people, lots of different instruments. There was 3 people who were kind of running the sound healing, doing the sound healing, lots of different instruments, and it was very vocal as well. So they guided us into this meditation, and then you lay down and you just allow yourself to be healed by all the different frequencies. And so I was laying down, and then this woman started singing, and as soon as she started singing, I started crying. My body started vibrating, and I thought I was shaking, and I opened my eyes to look at myself to see if I was shaking, because it was like, it felt like I was on one of those like vibrating exercise machines where it's like and I was like, whoa, what is this? I looked at my body, but it didn't look like I was shaking, but it was like my energy was vibrating, right? And I was just like, oh my God, and I started crying. And I was laying down just on my back, and the tears from my eyes were going directly into my ears, just directly down into my ears. As this woman started singing, I heard in my guidance, like my intuition, these are the light codes of Sophia. This is the light language of Sophia. And so I was bawling, and I also heard like that my ears were being cleansed by the salt water of my eyes. So I was like, whoa, this is intense, right? Didn't really expect that. Been to other sound healings, didn't have this reaction. Her voice just activated something in me that I can't even explain really. So I was like, okay, just relax into it, just whatever. And I bawled my eyes out the whole way through from beginning to end. And then, excuse me, then afterwards we were leaving and they were handing out flyers. And so I just grabbed this flyer, and then when we got back to the room, I had a look at this flyer, and the woman who had been singing, her name, or the name that she goes by, was 𝑬𝒄𝒕𝒊𝒂𝒏 Rose. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. She has Sophia in her name. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is really weird. Because obviously, like earlier on the day, I was like, Sophia, Sophia, I want to be called Sophia. And then we almost didn't make this healing, and then I had this epic experience throughout her singing, and then she has Sophia in her name. It was all very synchronistic and seemed really significant to me. And so I went on, it had her website, went on her website, and she teaches a thing called sophology. And it's all about the light language and light codes of Sophia. And I was just like, oh my goodness, like that is what she teaches. She does all this divine feminine healing work and like womb wisdom and sophology and these retreats for women. And I was just like, oh my goodness. So I reached out to her and I told her what had happened, and like, actually nothing has come of it. I didn't go to her retreat, I didn't do her workshop, I didn't even purchase a one-to-one session with her, because after that I started downloading myself. I started like receiving guidance myself around Sophia consciousness and around Mother Earth and Gaia and around the divine feminine and Shakti and the darkness to the light and all this crazy stuff which I am bringing into all of my work. Like Sophia consciousness is just a huge part of me now. It's kind of still processing and still kind of downloading it all, but this was my experience of Sophia consciousness, and I was just consumed after that for a while. It was like all I could feel, all I could think about, all I could feel was just Sophia. And it was like I would wake up in the morning, my crown chakra would be spinning, and I could just feel myself activating, and like my yoni would pulse, and throughout the day I would start having these weird like feelings, and just know that it was Sophia, Sophia consciousness. It sounds so freaking crazy and like out there, but this is what happened, and I just felt like I want to share that with you. So to me, Sophia is just a wave of consciousness that has come to earth, which is like the divine feminine, like the empowered divine feminine. And it's really about shining a light on the shadows, and it's about our connection with Gaia, with Mother Earth, and how to transcend this paradigm of wounded masculine and come into the space of union with the divine masculine, so that it's equal and that we rise together. And Sophia consciousness to me is, there's this real depth to it. There's this real sense of from the darkness to the light, and there's work to do within the darkness. And I see Sophia, it's like, so the other thing that was coming through this whole time was like roses, images of roses. They were literally in my life as well. Like we stayed in this hotel room, and there was like a picture of roses above the bed, and there was just like roses, and that woman's name was Sophia Rose, and like roses were really significant. The rose essential oil is like the most high vibrational oil, like it's the most expensive oil you can get, the rose essential oil, and there's just something very, very pure around rose. And so even though there's this darkness of Sophia, it's like the rising of that darkness into the light. This may not make any sense to you, it's kind of still processing through me, but all I know is that these Sophia codes are also about abundance, but abundance on all levels, abundance for women financially as well. These codes that came through, this consciousness that has come through that I've connected with, has really inspired me to start, it's really inspired me to create this new program called Empowered Feminine Premium, because I teach women how to sell premium programs. I have a course on my website called Successfully Sell Your Premium Program with Pleasure, because I really feel that premium programs are creating a new economy for women and for spiritually aware women, and I feel that it's super duper important for kind-hearted, conscious, spiritually aware women to be receiving loads of money, to be wealthy, to be rich, because then what we can contribute to on the planet for Mother Earth, like this is where the money piece comes into it. And Sophia consciousness is really here to help the rise of the divine feminine and the balancing of the divine masculine, so that we can come into union and we can live in harmony on this planet before we freaking destroy it, you know? So yeah, that's what it means to me anyway. So far, that's what I'm getting. Like, I really feel Sophia as a being as well, like not just a consciousness. Like I feel a being, and she's like, she has just this powerful, sensual woman, and I really feel her activating me right now. So yeah, that's my story time. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment. You may think I'm completely crazy, but that's okay, maybe I am. And yeah, I hope you're having an amazing day, and remember to keep it juicy. Bye.